Decision 2022 now. President Biden took to the campaign trail today, pushing his plan to cut crime and hire more police. And which party has the momentum as the election season kicks it up another notch? I'm joined now by our chief political reporter, Charles Benson, to look at these two big issues.
Hi, Simone. Yeah, it seems like this election cycle started in January and has been nonstop ever since. But Labor Day is often seen as the official kickoff to the November election. Let's talk about all of this with our political panel. We are joined by former Democratic Senate candidate and founder of the Millennial Action Project, Stephen Olakar, and Republican strategist and advisor to the Tim Michels campaign, Bill McCoshen. Thanks, guys, for being here. Let's talk about President Biden. He's on the campaign trail today talking about crime and hiring more police. Here's what he said about an hour ago.
When it comes to public safety in this nation, the answer is not defund the police, it's fund the police. Fund the police. That's why my crime plan to help communities recruit, hire, and train nationwide more than 100,000 additional officers, accountable officers, for community policing.
All right, Bill, let me start with you. You just heard the president say more money and more police. How is that any different from what Republicans are calling for?
I think he understands that he's on the wrong side of the crime issue, and Democrats are at overall. I mean, this is going to be one of the top two issues for the U.S. Senate race and in the gubernatorial race. Inflation's clearly going to be number one, but crime is right there behind it. And in the lead up into this story today, we saw a couple ads already against Governor Evers on crime. So I don't know that this is believable for the public, that the Democrats are now all of a sudden for funding the police when they spent the past 2 years trying to defund the police.
Stephen, you heard what the president said, but homicides are on the rise in Milwaukee. Another record year in Milwaukee. President Biden emphasized more accountable officers, more accountability. Is the solution more police?
Well, I think what President Biden is doing is very smart here. I've reviewed the proposal, and what he's doing is providing funding for not only hiring, but also training police officers. This has been one of the big issues we've seen, particularly since the shooting of George Floyd, that police officers have been calling for better training so that there can be a de-escalation of violence, and they haven't had the resources. So it's a smart proposal on the merits, and it's smart politically too, because you have seen that crime as a top issue for Republicans and independents. And my view is that the candidate who wins this year here in Wisconsin statewide is the one who's able to reach across and attract independents and people of the other parties. So I think this is very smart for President Biden to be doing.
So let's talk about what Republicans and Democrats are thinking. Republican voters still hold an edge, but Democrats are closing that enthusiasm gap as the election draws near, meaning Democrats are becoming more interested in this election cycle, not only here in Wisconsin, but across the country. So, Stephen, let me begin with you. President Biden's approval numbers remain low, but he's coming to Milwaukee on Labor Day to talk about issues. So what's driving Democrats' enthusiasm right now? Is it the abortion issue?
Well, I think it's a few things right now. First, when you look at the 2022 election, you would expect Republicans to have the momentum. That's the historical trend. Whoever is out of office, out of the White House, usually has the advantage in a midterm. But you are seeing Democrats overperform right now in terms of enthusiasm. And I think first it's because of the legislative productivity. You've seen President Biden and the Congress pass a historic climate bill. That is the number one issue for Democrats in Wisconsin, according to the Marquette Law School poll. But then also you look at the concern around women's rights and around reproductive freedom in our country. That is also energizing Democrats as well. I truly believe this is a good sign right now that the legislative productivity in Congress is leading to a reward from voters. So good policies leading to good politics, and that's always a good thing.
All right, Bill, let me give you the last word on this. Are Republicans losing their momentum? Are there headwinds here now that they're facing that they didn't see at the beginning of the year?
Not at all. I think the legislative successes, as Stephen called them, the Green New Deal, that's ultimately going to work against Democrats over the final 69 days. And I also think that the student loan forgiveness, when you have 38% of Wisconsinites who have a college degree, 62% that don't, but now they're going to pay the bills for those that got their degree and didn't pay for it. I think those things are ultimately going to work against Democrats over the next 69 days. And as Stephen correctly pointed out, The party in power in the White House typically loses seats in the Congress in the midterms. And frankly, in Wisconsin, as it relates to governors, only one governor has ever been reelected when his party controlled the White House, and that was my old boss, Tommy Thompson, in 1990.
All right, certainly have a lot to talk about as we head into the election year and as we approach Labor Day. Stephen Olakar, Bill McCoshen, we thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.